Good 7 a.m. or whatever time it is that you are watching this. And I'm recording this. Ha, ha. Hey, we've got some meal prep wins today. I want to go over just a couple quick tips that are going to help you see success in your health and your wellness, because too often we are too hard on ourselves about the perfect meal plan. And I want to give you a little hack that I use that helps me see success, because I know that there are some of you out there who do not like to eat the same thing all week. Can I get an amen? I don't like to eat the same thing all week. It gets boring. I want a little spice in my life, right? A little bit of variety. And so I'm going to provide you with some quick tips to help you see some success. And I call it Prep 2. If you've been following me before, you've probably heard this term from me. If you're in my free Facebook group, which is linked down below, join it. Prep 2. It is a quick and an easy way to help yourself see success. I want to tell you a story. Oranges. How many people here like oranges? I like oranges, but they take a little bit of work to get to the goodness on the inside. You have to peel them, right? Sometimes they don't peel great. I found that rolling them on the counter is pretty helpful to loosen up the skin from the yumminess inside. But it takes work. I'm not going to lie. I sometimes don't want to do the work associated to get the goodness on the inside. So then they sit on my counter, right? How many times have you had fruit go bad on the counter or in your fridge because there's an extra step that's keeping you from actually consuming the thing? Me. It's happened to me. It's probably happened to you. Give me a thumbs up if you've had this happen to you before. So one super simple tip is to prep 2. So when you do finally get around to peeling the one, peel a second one. Facebook's like, you've been on the internet too long. Because the scroll got me this morning. I digress. Prep 2. So if you like the oranges and you're going to the effort of peeling one, you might as well peel a second one so that you're prepared for tomorrow. That's the whole point. You're giving yourself a little heads up for the next day, a little edge. You're giving yourself a little break for tomorrow. You're doing the work now. Go ahead and do the work for tomorrow too. And you can use this with anything. I'd love to know, what would you use Prep 2 for? I use Prep 2 for oatmeal. Whether it's going to be overnight oats or whether I'm going to heat it up, either way, I prep 2. I've got all the ingredients out. I just grabbed 2 bowls instead of 1. I've got the oats out. I've got the measuring spoon, so I'm using the measuring spoon to measure out between 2 bowls instead of just 1. So dishes, hey, I'm saving myself the time and effort tomorrow by prepping it today. Prepping 2. Plus all the other things that I pull out to put into it. I add a variety of things to my oatmeal. I'd love to know, what do you put in your oatmeal? I sometimes put different types of nuts. I put a protein powder in there. I will put coconut flakes. I will put some dried fruit or fresh fruit if I have it. I'll even put some frozen fruit in there. But anyways, if you're pulling all of those kinds of ingredients out, wouldn't you save some time by prepping a second one? I do, and I want you to use this tool to help yourself see success. Kind of like making a sandwich, right? If you're making a sandwich for your lunch, make one for the next day. And think about it. 2 of an item is not an overwhelming amount of time extra to make it, and 2 of an item is not so much of the same thing that you're bored and fed up and don't want to eat it again. So then we're not being wasteful. So think about it from that perspective. What else could you prep in your day? Yogurt. I will typically put all the crunchies, the granola or the nuts or anything like that in a separate container so that it's a dump when I'm ready to consume it. That way it doesn't get soggy from sitting in the oatmeal or sitting in the yogurt. So just some quick tips to make sure that it's set up for your preference in taste and texture, etc. And when it's on the go, it's nice to have those quick and grab, easy to eat out the door and see success in your health and wellness. Well, I have another note here and I can't read my writing. I'd love to know if you prep in advance. Drop in the comments below. Share with me something that you prep 2 of, or 3 of even, or 4. I mean, it really depends on what your preference is. Do you mind eating the same thing 3 to 5 times a week? That's something that you get to decide. It's not about copying what the other person does. It's taking the tool and the information and making it work for you. So do you mind 2 or 3, 4 or 5 days of the same thing? What is your threshold? What is your limit? What is your, oh, I'm so bored of eating this? And maybe it's a mindset that you have to eat something every day. There's no rules in life that say you have to eat something different every day. And there's no rule that you have to eat the same thing 5 days a week. You get to decide to take the information and use it to work for you and your lifestyle. I love to prep 2 to 4 meals at one time so that I don't have to cook every night. I don't mind leftovers. Leftovers are a blessing from the Lord. And so the next time you're getting ready to cook something or even going to the grocery store, is this an item that maybe if you bought 2 tubes of beef or 2 tubes of turkey or something along that, or doubled the chicken breast that you purchase or whatever it is, or buy some extra cans of tuna. If you doubled that recipe, is that something you'd be willing to, you could freeze or you could eat for 3 to 4 times? It really depends, again, on you and what your preferences are. So if you struggle to eat healthy on a regular basis, give yourself the permission to prep 2 or 3 or 4 so you set yourself up for tomorrow. That is an amazing feeling. Think about it. The work I'm already doing today is setting me up for tomorrow. And then you have that plan and you can stick to that plan, or something might come up and you might have to change the plan, but then you can always have it the next day. The cool thing is when you're only preparing 2 to 3, then it's not so much that it goes to waste. So if there's a change in the plan by one day, it's still good the next day. So tell me below, what is it that you love to prep in advance, or you've done before, but maybe you haven't done it in a while and you're like, oh yeah, I really like to prep those things and help myself see success for the next day, because it's your future self that's going to benefit from it. You're already doing the work today, so help your future self out to have a few extra minutes left in your day. I'm Coach Jessica, super excited to support you on your health and your wellness. If there is something that I can do, or you have a suggestion or have a question, do not hesitate to drop it in the comments, because I'm here to help. I'm so excited because this month in the BTC, Break the Cycle Wellness, with our ladies, we are talking all about macros today. And it's not just the basic, let's calculate. Yes, we'll go back over that again because it's always a good refresher, but it's really getting a good, clear understanding of what your food is actually made of. Of course, you hear the whole food, eat the whole foods, right? Yeah. But in this society where we are go, 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 sometimes we're going to have some partially processed foods, and partially processed foods are not bad. Think of rice. It's a one ingredient, but it was technically partially processed because it had to come from the fields and get into the bag that is now rice for you. Then you have to cook it, right? So I want you, just because it comes in a bag or a box doesn't necessarily mean it is bad. No food is bad. It's just more or less processed. So if you want to jump in and get more information about the foods that you're consuming, I really want to encourage you to drop down in below the comments, just say food, and let me know, because I can tell you more about what it's like to be in BTC, get you some movement, get you some fuel, get you some water, all the tips and tricks and hacks that can help you see success, because we're all starting from a different perspective. We have different tracks that we are moving along, and as we build and strengthen that trail, and it becomes from a dirt trail to a gravel trail to a nice paved path that's easy to follow. Sometimes we get off that path and we need some support from a coach who can help you get back and find that path if you're just completely wandering around in the field trying to find it. Because if it's not an ingrained, nice paved path with signs on it, we haven't quite practiced it enough in order to make it automatic. And that's the goal, is that you become able to prep to automatically without having to put a lot of thought into it, because it becomes just part of how you prepare your food to set your next self up, your tomorrow self up for success. I love you. I hope you have a great day. Drink some water today, and God bless each and every one of you. Do not forget to let Him be your strength in your day as you move forward. In fact, the verse I had today, let me share it with you real quick before we call it a day. Look to the Lord and His strength, Seek his face always. Psalms 105, verse 4. God bless. Drink water. Thanks for watching.